Senator Schiff said, Donald Trump, you have poked the bear, and we will punch back. They say don't mess with Texas. Well, don't mess with the great Golden State.
California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom earlier today, he and Democrats in the state announced they will move forward to redraw their congressional map to counter Republican-led efforts in Texas. California Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley joins me now. Congressman, it's great to see you. The process by which you have to do this, you have to have an election in California to overcome what the voters already decided, which was to have an independent commission draw the lines in California. And you know that better than I do. React to what you heard from the governor today.
Well, I think it's very troubling because, as you said, voters have already decided this. They said, we want to take the power to draw district lines out of the hands of politicians who are inherently self-interested when it comes to drawing the lines that they're then going to run for office in, and put it in the hands of an independent commission. And that's what we have in California right now. It's done the line drawing the last two times that we've done it. It's comprised of citizens representing all parties who aren't even allowed to consider politics in the process. And California voters overwhelmingly put that system in place. And just today, a poll came out showing that by 2-1, California voters want to keep that system in place. They don't want to revert to the era of partisan gerrymandering. So the fact that the governor is now looking to spend $250 million on a snap-rushed special election that by definition could only succeed if they manage to confuse voters, I think it's exactly the wrong thing for our state right now.
Congressman, speaking of self-interested politicians, some have said you are self-interested because you might be drawn into a more problematic district if this went through.
Well, I'm actually not super concerned about my own seat. I was fortunate to win.
You'd be the first I ever met.
Votes in the last election. Well, I've been fortunate to get support from Democrat, Republican, and independent voters. And so I don't want my district to change. I love my district. I represent, I think, the most beautiful district in the country. But what I'm concerned first and foremost about is the future of democracy in our state, and frankly, the country as well. Because if we see this sort of escalating redistricting war continue to cascade across the country, I think it's going to be total chaos. District lines are going to be shifting. It's going to create great instability, which is why I've introduced legislation in the House that will stop this scheme from moving forward in California, but will also stop similar schemes or similar mid-decade redistricting efforts in every state.
So is it your declaration to Greg Abbott, the Republican governor of Texas, end this, back off, don't do it in Texas, so we don't have to go through it in California?
That's what my legislation would do. It would say, let's all just take a deep breath and say, this is not a path that we want to go down. This is not the way that representative government is supposed to work. I mean, we are supposed to redraw district lines after the census at the beginning of the decade. The point is to adjust the lines because population has changed. But when you're doing it smack in the middle of the decade, you don't even have new population data. So the entire thing is about partisanship. It's drawing district lines purely on the basis of partisanship. So my bill would say we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go back to the way of doing it once a decade. And then furthermore, I think that we need to address this issue of partisan gerrymandering. So I've called upon the Speaker of the House to create a bipartisan commission to end gerrymandering across the country by the time of the next census.
Do you have any sense at all, Congressman, that the Speaker will take you seriously because he is amenable to this because the President of the United States wants it? He wants 5 more seats out of Texas. I'm quoting him directly on that.
Well, this is a matter for the House of Representatives, and I believe we do have a strong majority of members of the House who don't want us to continue to go down this road. I mean, even the representatives from Texas who are Republicans, they weren't a fan of this whole thing because they don't want to see their districts upended. I mean, they've been representing communities in some cases for many years. They've gotten to know the people there. They've gotten to know the issues. Those communities have chosen them as their representative. And then all of a sudden, those communities are going to be tossed out of their district. It's incredibly disruptive. And I think, frankly, it is a symptom of the larger division that has come to really beleaguer politics in this country. That's maybe the one thing that most people can agree on is that political division has become a serious issue. And if we can't even agree on the rules of the game, the rules of the road, sort of the basic parameters of our politics, then I think we're in big trouble. So I think this is a moment for us to maybe take a step back, take a deep breath, and say there's a better way to do things.
Very quickly, the only way you get that bill to the floor, if it doesn't go through committee and the Rules Committee, because the Speaker says so, is to get a discharge petition. Are you prepared to go that route?
I'm prepared to use any and all tools that are available to get a vote on the bill, because I think that the majority would support it. And I think it would spare us from a huge distraction and something that would be very bad for representative government in this country if we continue going down this road. And it would make sure that California does not have the will of its voters overturned, as Governor Newsom is trying to.
Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley, I appreciate the time, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for having me on.